Hi there. In the next couple minutes, I'm going to show you how to edit one of our templates using PowerPoint. Hi, my name is Lynette Chandler from Thrive Anywhere. One of the questions I get a lot is how to edit one of our templates in Canva. The short answer is you can't. And the second answer is you shouldn't. The reason is because we don't provide Canva templates anymore, and that is because Canva is not set up for sharing of templates to begin with. So we have to go in and redo or undo a lot of designs because people accidentally replace our templates. So it's a lot of ongoing work for us in that sense. But also in another sense that there's a lot of limitations when it comes to Canva. A lot of things. Now, I don't want to get too technical about it. It's just plain a lot, especially when it comes to the designs that we make. Because our designs are made either using InDesign, Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, or sometimes all three, a lot of the things just don't translate well in Canva. So my first recommendation when it comes to editing, especially if you want to recolor some of these things, is to use one of those Adobe products, especially InDesign. And some of our older templates are still in Photoshop, and some of them you'll find in Illustrator. But the newer templates, they're usually in Illustrator. So the good news is that now that Adobe has Creative Cloud, you can pay monthly for that. You do not have to fork out hundreds of dollars just to get it like we used to. If you want to, you can just pay for a month and do all the edits that you want, and you can cancel it. But if you don't want to do that, the next best option, still not as good as one of the Adobe products, but the next best option is to use PowerPoint. So here I have one of our planner templates, and let's say I do not want this design. I want to put my logo on it, I want to put my name on it, and I want to change it to my color scheme. And to make things easy, we'll just go with a white, red, and black scheme. One of the first things I'm going to do is to click on this text. Now, this text right now actually has a different color outline, and I do not think that is possible when it comes to editing this to make them two color inside PowerPoint. But we are going to try that because in Photoshop, in Illustrator, in Adobe Design, again, like I said, things are a little bit more flexible. You can do a lot of different things. But we are going to try to change that. And we're going to see under text, let's see. So we have solid fill. And right now, if I change the solid fill to maybe a gray, so as you can see, both the colors actually changed. So if I change it to black, both the colors have actually changed. Let's try that again. Yep. So that seems like the best that we can do. But one other thing that you might want to try sometimes is a lot of times we have layers upon layers of things. So what happens is that you may have, it might look like one item, but there's actually like two different layers of the same text, one stacked on top of the other. And what you could do in that case is to see if this shape is a group, and in this case it is not a group. So if you don't like the way that this is, where the outline and the actual text itself is the same color, you can try to change the font. So let's try something. Let's try to change it to that, a Montserrat. And looks like we might have to, okay. And what we do here is we change it to a normal. All right, and then we're going to delete all that and type it again. All right, and maybe we want to capitalize it instead. And we change that, and now we can bump the size up. Okay, some fonts just work better inside Illustrator and Adobe products than others. Now I want this rectangle back here to be red. Now notice I cannot click on it. Now sometimes if you cannot click on it, the best thing to do is go to View, go to Master and Slide Master, and you can see now that can be changed. So let's change it to this dark red, and that one we want to change it to maybe black or gray. Let's do a gray. And now we can go back to our normal slide view and we see that that has changed. And of course this now we need to change it to a white text, and I might want to put it down just a little bit. Now over here, all these orange things, maybe what I can do is select it all, and let's try to change it to a red. Okay, everything changed correctly except the top row. So in this case, I want to go closer because a lot of times these designs, we have one layer on top of another, and sometimes we can't select it properly if we're so zoomed out. So I want to zoom in much further, and let's see what we're looking at. Okay, for this, let's try changing. Let me see here. So one of the things here is that was a background that is red. So I want to make it white, but I want to, there we go. Now I've selected it properly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all the way there so it goes, it hides the gray over there. Now that one, I do think it is, okay, that's a background and a white background. White background. So we should be able to select multiple of it by holding down the shift key and selecting multiples here and going by that. Oh, except for the last one, things are a little different for the last one. So the last one, what happens is, I'm going to deselect that, is that background should be white. And the inside, do you see how it's changed a little bit? See that how big that is larger and this is smaller? So now we know that we've selected the right one. Okay, there we go. So that's the cover. And one of the things I probably want to do from here is to add my own logo, right? Usually you would have your own logo when you want to brand something. So I'm searching here for my logo, and let's see if I can find a logo here to put on here. All right, let me drag and drop this logo on here. So as you can see, that is really large, and I don't want that to be so large. I'm gonna reduce that. All right, and I'm just gonna place that right there. And once again, sometimes it really helps to make it larger like that. And there we go. So my cover is done. Or I can actually put it up here too if I want to and make it bigger, right? But no, I think I like it how it was. So I'm just going to Control Z or Command Z or Control Z to undo it. So what about these? These are the same way. So these little orange things, let's see if I can select all of them at one time. Okay, and let me make them red. And that maybe I want it black. And that this time I want my text to be white. All right, so that's good. And maybe over here at the bottom, I might not have room for a logo, but usually when I'm rebranding something, I like to put my website name on there. So I might put just simply thriveanywhere.com. And let me capitalize that. And I usually like to center it. If I'm doing the center, I can put it down here, or I can put it to the side, and then I'm just going to reduce the size because I don't want it to be super prominent, but I do want the branding there so people will always know that, hey, this came from me or from my side. People will always know where they got it from, and they can always return, right? Now, one of the things to make it easy for you is actually to just cut this and go to the master, slide master, and probably put it in here. Let's just paste that. So as you see, that's right there. I'm going to paste that. I don't think we're using all of these templates, but I'm going to paste it in there anyway. And that's for the blank one. So now when we go back and we view normal, this is the page that I just did. All right, so we're good there. Okay, so the next page, what I'm going to do is same thing, right? I'm just going to go ahead and change all that. It's being stubborn. It's not wanting to select. Okay, there we go. And change all that. And we're going to change that to red and change that to red and change that to white as well. And maybe these, I will change it to red and solid fill. Oops. Make it to red. And because you see here, that one has an outline, you can actually see it. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. You can see that the outline is still orange. So line, I would choose no line. And the stars, I would just do that. And in this case, because that is a picture, well, let's do that. Nope, solid, great, no fill. Now, because that is a pattern, that's going to be a little bit more tricky, but I'm going to select a darker pattern here. So what I could do here is, let's try a solid line. Now these stars, all right, so the next thing I want to do is these stars. So first I want to select it and take a look at what it is. It's a shape. So shapes sometimes have things a little bit differently. And I might simply want to do a recolor. Okay, so that, maybe I'll do like that color instead. Okay, because sometimes shapes just work a little bit differently. I'm going to recolor that. I know you can't really see here. Let me just remove that. And so I'm going to do a recolor, or I can do a gray. Okay, or we can keep it that. Since we are doing sort of gray, so I think that works. the gray. Okay, so now we can just repeat that over here as well. All right, and that's it. Now you can also change these line colors if you don't want. You can make it a different color. You can make it gray as well. You can make it red as well. So it's really up to you. And you can even change it to like a dotted line if you prefer, and so on and forth. So that's in a nutshell how to customize a planner design with PowerPoint.